Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. 22 yards there, a first down. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty. Can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That one good for 7 as this long drive continues, and the chains move again.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Even.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
We got 4.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season, but they have any hopes of making waves in January, they've got to improve in this area.
Back to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. From the 29, Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football. These two teams all tied after one. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 19. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it'll be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board. But give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Here's Newton. He finds Austin complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. And he's got his target. That's more. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up. And let him go get it. How about that play?
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
Let's go.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They fake the give. Newton. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore. And now it's 2nd down. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Throwing again here on 2nd down. This time complete.
That we belong.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Completes it to Samuel. And oh, he coughed it up. And this belongs to the Vikings.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
He got 29 yards that time.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
2nd and 15. And he will find his man on the outside. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Brian Burns in there to bury him for a loss of 11. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Going for it all. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. He'll look to throw. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's fielded at the 45. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not at that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Herb Smith Jr. in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-3. 5 plays there on that drive, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. That's fielded in the end zone, and not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in everyone to this Christmas Eve edition of the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get to it. We'll begin up in Lambeau, an NFC North battle between Detroit and Green Bay. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. Jacoby Brissett, 2 touchdown passes thus far. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. Sam Darnold has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to Zoom play in the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see... Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 33 yards that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And his first carry, he loses the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have faked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. On the run, it's Barkley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Complete. Smith has it.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They're going to look to throw. And it's caught. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And it's picked up by the Panthers. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On first down, he'll drop to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They run. Cook. And an alley to run. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive.
He's got a man, complete. A big play there for Carolina. 43 yards.
And that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, have the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
And their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. Newton on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're... And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next. A touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown 1 play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here we go with McCaffrey. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did? That they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The Panthers on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. Now Newton. Over the middle, complete. It's Sullivan. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
13 yards, first down, Panthers.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Now Newton on first down. He gets this one to Johnson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw again on second down. Newton finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 12-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. On first down, Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. His pass caught at the 4. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And you can see, and as many of you know, they have clinched the NFC South, but as it stands, Charles, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend.
Remember the days when there were jokes about the NFC South, about how volatile a division it was, that you can go from worst to first just about every year? And stats actually proved that out. But in recent years, if you come out of the NFC South, that's a Super Bowl contender. I mean, in the past couple of seasons, Carolina came out of the South, Atlanta came out of the South. So look out.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
Well, definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Newton. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. But it's going to be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. Johnson's got it complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 26. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. To try again after the sack. Newton, he's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Newton now to throw.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
For the field goal, a 47-yard attempt.
And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary.